All right, Marie.
this?
That's my tummy. Can you grab that story?
Is it your stomach?
That's right. Can you grab the story we're going to read tonight?
Okay, Daddy.
Okay, what's it called?
What's this?
Oh, no, that's not the one. It's on the other side. You got to turn it over. Okay, what's it called?
What's that?
Robert the Rose Horse. Okay. All right, girls. Robert the Rose Horse. Robert was a happy little horse. He lived on a farm. He lived with his mother and father.
It's a mother and father.
That's right. One day, Robert had a party. It was his birthday. All his farm friends came to the party. They had a big cake. "Happy birthday, Robert," said all his friends. "Happy birthday to you."
Happy birthday to you.
The cake was very pretty. It had big red roses all around it. Robert liked those red roses. He put his nose right into one, and he took a big sniff. Then Robert got a funny feeling. His eyes began to itch, and his nose began to itch, and then... Kerchoo! Robert sneezed, and what a sneeze! Up went the farm friends, up went the cake, up went the roses, and Robert fell down flat. Look at the doggy. His mother called the doctor. The doctor looked at Robert. "Say, ah," said the doctor. "Ah," said Robert. "Aha," said the doctor. "I know what made him sneeze. And I know I am right," said the doctor. "You will see. Here, Robert, take a sniff." Robert put his nose into the roses. He took a little sniff. Again, his nose began to itch, and his eyes began to itch. That's a hat.
That's a Robo's hat.
Kerchoo! Went Robert. Bang went the window, bang went the door, up went the roses, and the doctor fell down flat. "I was right," said the doctor. "Roses are very bad for you. There are too many roses on this farm. You must get away from them. You must go to the city." So Robert had to go. "Goodbye," he said to his mother and father. "I will be all right in the city. I will find work. I will find a job." Robert did find a job in the city. He went to work for a milkman. He took the milkman wagon all around the city. It was a good job, and Robert was happy. Robert liked this kind of job. Then one day, a man walked right next to Robert. The man had a flower in his coat, and the flower in his coat was a... It's a rose! A rose!
He took a little sniff.
And right under his nose, Robert got that funny feeling again. His nose began to itch, his eyes began to itch, and... Herchoo! Went Robert. Crash went the wagon, splash went the milk. Up went the milkman, and the man with the rose fell down flat. "Go away," the milkman said, "Robert. You cannot work for me anymore." That's his hat and his gloves. So Robert went to look for work again. But it was hard for a horse to find a job. He looked for many days. One day, he saw some horses that had people on them. "Say, I could do work like that," said Robert. "I'll ask for a job." Robert went to the door, and a man came out. "You look like a good horse," the man told Robert. "You can work for me, but you have to work hard. You have to do everything that you are told." So Robert went to work. He did just as he was told. When he was told to go slow, he went slow. When he was told to go fast, he went fast. Robert did everything that he was told. "I like this work," Robert said. "I'm going to keep the job." Then one day, he took a woman for a ride. Everything was going well, but all at once... "Look," the woman said. "Look at those pretty roses. I want those roses. Robert, take me over there at once." What could Robert do? He had to do as he was told. He took the woman to the roses. Again, he got that funny feeling. His nose began to itch. His eyes began to itch. And... Kerchoo! Went Robert. Away went the wagon. Away went the flowers. Up went the windmill, and the flower man fell down flat. Once more, Robert was out of a job. Robert had to look for work again. He looked and looked. Fathers had work. Mothers had work. Everyone had some kind of work. But there wasn't that many jobs for a horse. She's doing laundry on the roof. Robert walked and walked, he looked and looked, and at last he finally saw something. He saw a job he could do. He could be a police horse. I will go in. I will ask for the job, he said. When Robert came out, he was a police horse. He was a good police horse. He did all kinds of police work.
Mommy cats and baby cats.
Yes, he's helping them cross the street. One day, Robert worked on Bank Street. Some men came down the street. 3 men. One of them had a black bag. They went to the bank. Robert did not see them. They're almost there, Renee.
What's this?
It's another cat. Then all at once, someone called out, "Help! Police! Help!" Robert looked around. He saw the 3 men. They were robbers! Bank robbers! The robbers ran right at Robert. They ran right over him, and away they went.
Look.
They're standing on him. That's not very nice.
Oh, he fell.
Poor Robert. Oh, look, there's a little girl over there with a rose in her hair. Robert got up fast. He had to stop those robbers. But how? How could he do it? And then Robert saw a rose. It was not a big rose, but it was a rose. Robert began to think. He began to think fast.
Well, baby.
Robert went over to that rose. He put his nose right in that rose. He took a sniff, a big sniff, a big, big sniff, and he began to get that funny old feeling. His eyes began to itch. His nose began to itch. Then, Ka-chow! That's a big one. Robert sneezed.
What's that?
His hat blew off. There was never a sneeze like it. Away went the cats, away went the hats, up went the dogs, down came the birds, bang went the guns, up went the black bag, and the robbers fell down.
Flat.
Hooray, hooray for Robert! Everyone yelled. The bank man was happy. The policemen were happy. Everyone was happy. Robert had stopped the robbers. He had sneezed the robbers flat. He's having trouble turning the page. The next day there was a party. It was for Robert. His mother and father came, his farm friends came, the doctor came, the policeman came too. Then one of them got up. "Robert," he said, "I have something for you." "Roses!" yelled the doctor. This is a big rose. Says, "Thank you, Robert. Hold on to your hats. Here comes the sneeze. Robert's going to send us all to Chicago." Robert took a little sniff. His nose did not itch. His eyes did not itch. Then Robert took a big, big sniff. He did not get that funny feeling that Big Kerchoo had done it. Robert at last was all sneezed out, and the roses never made Robert sneeze again. The end. Thank you, girls, for reading the story with me. Hey,
I want
Thank you.
the other one.
I don't know.